I am gonna make the wedding cookies, or Saghe Aroos, which is one of the first cookies, if not the first cookie that I learned how to make from my grandma as a child. I love them. I still love them. You probably have heard them under the name of Christmas cookies or Mexican wedding nut cookies, or they do them all sorts of ways and with all sorts of nuts, or even without nuts. But I like to make them with walnuts because they are the healthiest types of nuts. When I teach kids, I talk to them about LDL and HDL, the good fat and the bad fat in our body, and this contributes, I tell them that contributes a lot to the good fat in our body. So I want to put about half a cup of that, because instead of all flour and butter, because we have the butter, I like to have this as the good fat into this recipe. Okay, I grind it a little bit. And by the way, today I want to show how you can make everything happen in a small apartment with a toaster oven and with a small mini Cuisinart. I'm going to add a little bit of a quarter of a cup of powdered sugar to this. I don't like to make it too sweet because we're going to roll it in sugar. I'm going to add that. I'm going to add 1 cup of flour, all-purpose flour. So we have everything. I want to show you how to make everything in this. Okay, make it a good time. And last but not least, we're gonna add half a cup of butter, room temperature, or a little bit softened in the microwave. I don't like to microwave a lot. I don't like to use the microwave. So if you remember putting it at room temperature, it's just perfect. And about half a teaspoon of vanilla. I make my own vanilla with bourbon and with the vanilla from Madagascar. But you can buy good vanilla extract. You see how our dough comes together? If you're at this point and you feel like your dough has not come together completely, like mine here, it's a little bit moist, I am gonna add just a tad more flour to this. Okay. All right, this looks about right. We're gonna take, you see the bottom, that's why I'm putting it in this, because we have a small Cuisinart. It helps you to do most of the job, but we are gonna finish it off with our best tools, that are our hands and our fingers. Okay, I want to scrape everything. Make sure your hands are clean also. If you do with the spatula, you can finish it off with the spatula. What I like to do is to put it in the fridge for about 15 minutes, half an hour. Oh hi, I put the dough in the fridge, and actually I was reading today the Village News, Lowe Village News had a very big spread about us, about our cooking with kids and adults. It's 2 pages, really wonderful. Okay, so that was my power plug. I take the dough out. This is the second stage, And I have about a cup of powdered sugar. I have about a teaspoon of cardamom, and cardamom is a spice that comes in pods like this, and it's so beautiful. It's from India, and it has such a beautiful flavor, smell, very exotic. They take the pods, what's inside and not the skin, and they grind it to a powder, but I put these in my tea or in my food, but this is the powdered form. Oh my god, you can go high on this, it's so good. And what I do, I slowly mix my powdered sugar with my cardamom powder to infuse the cardamom powder smell into my sugar. And as you see, I am sifting it through. There is an easier way to do it. Actually, I'm going to show you right away so you don't suffer. Okay, so if this is inconvenient, just take it mixes it for you instead of doing the hand. By hand, you can just use this. And the reason we do it, because we want to roll it in really fine sugar and not have these lumps. So once in here, you can actually break the sugar. And this is better because it doesn't make it, you know, it's not as messy as the first one as I used. And you see the cardamom, first it looked black, but now it's all mixed really well. I'm gonna spread this and leave it aside. I took this out of the fridge, my hands are clean, and we're gonna take very little morsels, pieces, and roll them in the ball. Or you can do them in a crescent shape, whichever pleases you. I like to make little balls because you cannot play too much with this dough. It has a lot of butter in it, so you don't want the butter to melt before going, and that's why we put it in the fridge. So we don't want to, you know, mess around with it too much. By the way, this doesn't expand, so you can actually put them in close proximity. Again, I like to make the smaller ones. I'm really a believer in portion control, so you can have your sweets as long as you don't have a tray filled with this. It's just fine. However, if you decide to eat 2 trays of wedding cookies, I can guarantee you are gonna go fat. So enjoy your cookies. Okay, so we're done with this, with our first tray. Again, a lot of people think you have to have a beautiful kitchen like this to be able to cook something super sophisticated. Well, I have this because of the generosity of fixtures and somatic. And, you know, if you don't have all these beautiful equipment, just use a toaster oven, put it in there at 350 degrees. And this is not one of those cookies that's going to puff up. So look carefully once the edges are golden, or in about 15-20 minutes, you can take them out. So I took them out, and I like them personally. You can take them out a little bit before it reaches this color. I like them a little bit on the crispier side, although a lot of people take them out when they're a little bit paler. Okay. I normally would tell everyone with every kind of cookies they make to wait until they coat them with frosting or anything, but in this case it's just the opposite. You take them hot off the oven, and as you noticed, there were very few or very little sugar inside the recipe. The reason, because exactly this, we are gonna roll them into the sugar, and they're gonna take all the sugar from it, but they're also very delicate, so make sure that you are not going to hurt them, and by hurting I mean breaking them. It's going to break very fast. It's a very delicate shortbread cookie type of recipe, so you just want to roll them while they're hot. Make sure all sides are coated, and that's pretty much it. And it's so yummy. You can just take some. Make sure you're not burning yourself. Bon appetit.